What's up, guys? Corey from Lion Dads back with another video for you. As you can tell from the title, I'm back from my trip, and back and hopefully in a place where I can kind of commit a hell of a lot more time to this instead of trying to get things in order and doing all this trip planning and all that kind of stuff. And I've set a lot of goals for myself moving forward that I planned on focusing when I got back from this trip. And as my kids' sports seasons and things like that are kind of winding down, so I'm back, and I'm hopefully able to, well, I definitely should be able to start kicking things in gear that I've been wanting to do. So what I want to get kind of going into is one, kind of how things went for me, how my trip went, that I've kind of been planning for quite a while now. It was a pretty nice long little vacation, out of country, island style type thing for my wife's birthday. And we hit 20 years this year, kind of celebrated all kinds of different stuff with some friends of ours. And I wanted to go there. It wasn't super crazy important for me to go out there like in the best ever shape I could possibly, whatever. It's not a lot of pressure that I care to put on myself anymore. I'm just wanting to be healthy and happy. So I didn't want to get myself in a place where I was trying to, get into showroom competition level of, shape, because that stuff's not really that important to me. And I still wanted to kind of live my life, enjoy things, enjoy myself, not super worried about stuff while kind of getting ready and trying to be in at least, really good shape. And you guys know I did a bulk a while back. I added some weight, so then I had to peel some fat off for this trip, because, anytime you do a bulk, I don't care what kind of diet you're on, you're going to put some body fat on. And I lost a good bit, I lost a good bit of weight. I went on, did some OMAD, a little more strict carnivore, I guess. And, it worked out pretty well. I was really, really happy with myself when I got down there, you know what I mean? Looked good, felt good. Kind of thought maybe I'd be giving myself some wiggle room to do some things when I got there that maybe, I didn't know what to expect. And, how much fun I'd want to have is, fun being, the way I used to think of fun is eating like shit and, drinking, things like that. And, I didn't know what I was going to be like when I got down there and got around that stuff. So I'm just going to go over that stuff. So one thing about traveling, especially, I'd never been to this place. I really haven't traveled out of the country in a while. And I didn't know, we did some resort type stuff and everything like that. And you got food available to you and things like that. And people are preparing it and everything. And I didn't know really what to expect. Was I going to be, went down there prepared to not be able to follow my diet and really just see how things go and play it by ear. If I wasn't able to, not make a big deal out of it, you know what I mean? As you should. You can kind of get, go somewhere and, if you want to let yourself be a little more free, that's totally fine. That's up to you. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people who go on vacations and stuff like that and think, I'm going to get myself back on track when I get back. Totally understandable. You know what I mean? You don't want to go being stressed out about the way you're eating and putting pressure on yourself and doing all this kind of stuff. And it's true. It was beyond difficult to stick to a 100% carnivore diet when you're doing these kind of, when you're in these areas, these resort type locations in foreign countries and things like that. If I was out on my own, doing my own shopping, things like that, it would have been super easy to stick to it. But, and you have dinners at set times, lunches at set times, and there's a set menu, and there's these different options and stuff. And, it's not easy to stick to it. You do the best you can. You know what I mean? So, one thing, there was a breakfast buffet, so I made sure I kicked my day off with the bacon and eggs. Now, I did not fast this whole trip. When it was time to eat, I ate when they had food open, because I had a lot of activities, did a lot of waterfall, cliff diving, beach stuff, all that kind of stuff. And just wanted to, make sure that I had prepared myself by eating plenty of food throughout the day, because there were times where it was like, man, I don't know when the next meal's coming, things like that. So I would kick my day off every day with a huge breakfast. We had a buffet available, like I said. And so my breakfast every day was like my bacon and eggs or an omelet or something like that. And then they had, one thing, it's hard to find, places here that do it for breakfast, but down there, they had like different fish options, salmon, things like that for breakfast. It was awesome. That's how I'd kick my day off every day. High protein, animal based. Everything tasted really clean. When I asked, because they made, omelets and stuff right in front of me, asked, hey, can you cook that in butter for me? No problem. You know what I mean? Very, very accommodating in that way. And that's basically how I kicked every day off. Just a nice, clean, animal based, filling, high protein, high fat breakfast, and it gave me a lot of energy and good stuff throughout the day. Some meals that wasn't really an option. Some meals, they're just bringing things out to you. If you're, we did one thing where we were on a beach and it was just like, it's all local cuisine and stuff like that, and they just kept rolling it out to us. And you just kind of, got to go with the flow sometimes. You know what I mean? I will say, I think everything in a lot of other countries is cooked a lot cleaner than you will find here. They're not cooking crap in soybean. And I actually talked to one of the locals that prepared my food and asked him, like, what are you frying, your food in? What kind of oils do you use? And the guy kind of smirked at me, and he's like, nothing but the best. He said, olive oil, or pure olive oil or pure coconut oil. So that was kind of cool to hear that. The guy kind of, they took it as a weird question. I was like, you're not cooking it in, soybean, or you're not cooking it in vegetable oil or canola oil or whatever, and they just kind of shook their head at me like, really, So, the food, I didn't do too bad. I didn't gain a ton of weight or anything like that. I didn't get any workouts in while I was down there. Just had so many activities planned. I wanted to keep my wife busy and happy, and make her feel that her trip was worthwhile. So we had a lot of stuff going on, but we stayed really active. There was a lot of hiking around through waterfalls and caves and things like that, and like I said, like a lot of cliff diving and all this kind of stuff. So we stayed really active, and I ate as clean as I possibly could, and I didn't end up gaining really much weight at all, or didn't feel bad. I felt great walking around and everything. So that kind of got me thinking a little bit, and gave me some stuff to ponder about food and eating here in the United States versus other places in the world, and the way they eat versus the way we eat, how they look and feel, and it's just stuff I'm going to do more research on, and see how things are going forward. I'm back on my carnivore diet now, and I'm feeling great. And actually, the little weight that I did gain, I've only been back a couple days, is pretty much already flushed out and gone. So really, really good stuff. The other thing is, you get down to a lot of these places and you get away once in a while, and there's an abundance of alcohol, and I've done some videos on, alcohol and stuff like that, where I talked about, does it fit on a carnivore lifestyle or a carnivore diet if you're really committed, and, how strict you are, and it was there. And, there were a couple nights we'd go out and maybe I would, indulge a little bit. I'll be honest. I'm always going to be honest with you guys. I'm never going to hide anything from my audience. You know what I mean? There were couple nights where, I maybe did have a little, something, because I was out, I'm on vacation and I'm enjoying myself, and I've done good. You know what I mean? And I don't think it really derailed me or anything, or, I'm not back and like, I'm not, like I said, I'm not an alcoholic or anything like that. So, I came back and now I'm, right back to where I was when I left, and I'm happy with that. I'm at peace with it, and, I enjoyed myself, and I just didn't, go overboard. And that's one thing I did learn on this trip that I think was really important, that I was pretty jacked up to come back and share with you guys. Was, on previous vacations, I've been on cruises, I've been in like all-inclusives and resorts and just doing stuff on my own or whatever. And alcohol was always a really big part of those trips. I would say it before I left. I'm ready to go down there just to drink my ass off, and that's what I would do. You know what I mean? I'm away from everything. I don't have to drive anywhere. I don't have to go to work. I've been on vacations where I had a screwdriver at breakfast, or there's like the champagne breakfast or brunch or whatever, and you start drinking at wake up and all the way till you go to bed at night. And like I'd come back and my friends would be like, "How was your trip?" And I'd be like, "It was awesome. I just drank my ass off." You know what I mean? That's the old me, the way it used to be. This trip, not so much. You know what I mean? I wanted to make sure that I was always present in the moment, that I was able to do everything that I wanted to do and go out and do more activities and have fun. Because maybe, before on previous trips, we'd forego activities and cool things and nature, going out and checking out the culture in the local area and stuff. And maybe, just sit on the beach and drink all day. And this trip, I didn't really want it to be like that. You know what I mean? So it was really, really important for me to make sure that I was present in the moment, clear mind, feeling good. And so alcohol was on this vacation not even a priority, it was kind of an afterthought. It was sit down at dinner, and if they offer you, like, you want a drink, you want a house wine or a beer or whatever it is, and it's like, oh, you know what, all right, yeah, I'm sitting here, I'm eating a meal, and one might go well with it, and have one or two or whatever, and then go to bed and move on. And so it really, really gave me some perspective on how I used to make things in my life. Like, fun was centered around like alcohol and bad food, and you can have even more fun when you're not making that stuff a priority. This trip I prioritized doing stuff and having fun and seeing things and meeting people and interacting and testing and pushing I'm not a heights guy. I'm not a daredevil by any means or anything like that. And I really wanted to make sure that I was enjoying myself and, going out and trying new things and doing like the cliff jumping, which I never would have done before. And not having to have liquid courage to do that. You know what I mean? I wanted to just really get out and enjoy myself. But that's not to say, like I said, I'm going to be honest with you guys, that's not to say that I didn't maybe once or twice indulge in something, and that's fine. I'm totally at peace with that and totally happy with it, and I'm back and I'm on track, and I'm moving on and moving forward. So, moving on from there, what is coming up? I got a lot of things that I've started kind of as I was on this trip, able to sit and kind of think and not worry about the channel so much and the business so much. And then it's funny when you take that kind of pressure off, how ideas and things kind of come to you. So I've got a lot of stuff written down that I'm going to start trying to figure out and implementing into this, beyond just like the coaching and stuff like that. So but that's still a big part of what I do. When I got into this channel, I wanted to just help dads in general with everything in life. And, my philosophy, as I've always said, is everything starts with you as a dad. I think we live in a time right now where we need good, strong dads more than ever. These kids today, there's so much outside influence with the internet and everything. It's so easy. I was thinking about how scared everybody was about MTV and stuff when I was a kid, or like, the way music was, or movies, listening to, certain bands or artists or whatever. And I'm like, that's nothing compared to what kids these days have access to. So I think, having a strong dad figure in life is so important. And I think, the path to becoming the best dad you can be starts with working on yourself. And that's why I started this channel. And somehow it turned into a just carnivore diet channel. Because that was the philosophy that I ate. That's how I that was my path to becoming my best self. Started with me getting on this diet and getting my health back first and foremost, and making myself a priority. So I kind of just realized I can kind of teach dads how to, take care of themselves first and foremost, and then get into that stuff. And then just people were kind of here for the carnivore content, and that's kind of how it took off. But I'm still really interested in helping dads beyond just their fitness and, diet and things like that. I think, I've got 3 different kids that have given me complete different life experiences, and I've made a lot of mistakes along the way. I've done a lot of really good things, positive things. And I've screwed up, like all parents do. So that is something I do kind of want to get into. I don't know how to implement it because, like I said, those videos don't do well here because this has become somewhat of a carnivore diet channel. So I'm thinking of maybe, like one thought I've had is maybe splitting my channel, keeping this main one, the carnivore related content, and maybe doing some, that'll give me more freedom by restricting it more. As ironic as that sounds, to kind of just come up with all kinds of crazy cool carnivore content, and maybe starting a second channel where I do a lot of more of the dad related stuff, and not have to worry too much about the diet stuff. And so that's a thought I've had. Let me know what you guys think. I'm always open to feedback in the comments, but I have a lot of things planned. I'll be dropping videos, just really short little kind of things to kind of advertise that. I don't want to throw a bunch of advertising in videos where you guys come to see, my advice or, things I'm discovering along the way and how things are going with me and stuff. I'll just drop, I've done it before, little videos where I just tell you, hey, I got this thing we can do, check it out. And so that's where I'm kind of at moving forward. A lot of different cool stuff. So I've got some guests here in the house. I wanted to do a live stream today, but I have some family in town, so I wasn't able to get to it today, or this weekend. I'm hoping next weekend, because my son's done, they had a couple Saturday games, things like that for football, and we're done with that. Everything's back to Friday nights now, because we had a ref shortage here. So I'm gonna hopefully be able to kick off a live stream next week. I will post if I'm able to get it worked out and planned out and everything, and learn how to do it, and how to make sure everything's good. I'll post a little posting about it on the YouTube channel, and I'll throw it up on Twitter or whatever, and let you guys know if we're gonna be able to go with that. It's something that I think would be really cool to interact with all you guys, and that's pretty much where I'm at from here. Really jacked up and excited for some of the stuff I have planned. Sorry to take up so much of your guys' time. I know this is kind of on the longer side of the normal videos I do. And as always, head on over to lion-dads.com and get in the group on Discord. And if you guys want to hit me up. And from there, I will talk to you later. Peace.